Hey folks, welcome to another VR video. Today we're going to be checking out 3 different versions of Resident Evil 4, which is going to be available in VR on the Oculus Quest 2. However, a lot of people are a little bit upset because it's not going to, at least initially, be available on PC VR. So what I'm going to show you is 3 different ways that you can make the older versions of Resident Evil 4 work in VR. None of these are actual VR implementations of the game, but some work better than others. So what I've got open right now is Dolphin VR. This is version 5.0-250, which is sadly the last version of Dolphin VR that's come out. It was made available for the Oculus SDK 1.3.0, which was a very long time ago, I believe 4 years or more ago. But Dolphin VR is an emulator that is capable of playing and emulating both GameCube and Wii games. So what I've got are the Resident Evil 4 Wii Edition and Resident Evil 4 Game Disc 1, the first part of the GameCube version, loaded up so that you can see how this works. But before we do that, I just want to show you the settings that we've got. So under Config, we've got the general user settings. We've got to enable cheats. If you don't enable cheats, some of the stuff that you need to do with removing elements of the screen will not work. Under interface, everything I just left as default. Under audio, I left it as default. Under GameCube, I left it as default. Under Wii, I left it as default. Under paths, I chose where my ISO images were for both the GameCube and the Wii. That's how they show up in the banner form below. And then under advanced, I left the CPU options where they are. Now I am running a laptop using a 3080 laptop GPU with an i7 10th generation Intel CPU. So fairly powerful PC for what it is. If we go into the graphics options, this is where things change depending on your PC. I have an NVIDIA graphics chipset, so I've chosen Direct 3D 11. If you have an AMD chipset, you should probably choose OpenGL here. If you want it to render without VR, there are other options, but those are really the only 2 that you have available right off the bat, depending on which GPU your computer has. I left it to full screen resolution. I'm going to change this to 1920 by 1080. I'm going to leave it as use full screen. Under enhancements, I have it as 3 times native. That makes it so that it kind of zooms in and makes it 3 times the resolution of the original Wii image when I'm playing. I have stereoscopic 3D mode as off, but you can change that to side-by-side, top and bottom, anaglyph, OSVR, 3D vision. It even works with the VR 920, which was a predecessor to Oculus headsets made by Vuzix and Oculus. So you have options there. If you want to do dialed in stereo separation and convergence, you can do so. Under hacks, the one thing that they suggested was to remove the EFB copies. So if you click disable here, that's the only option I changed on this screen. Everything else is the defaults. And under advanced, I just left everything as is. Now for the game itself, you do have to add some codes to remove some of the elements that show up on the screen. Otherwise, your entire face is covered by a gray screen in front of you. It's pretty bad. So if we click on properties here, under game config, I left everything as is. You don't really even have options that you can change here. Under VR, again, you kind of just leave it as HUD on top, HUD full screen. And then here's where you hide objects. I'm going to put the code in the description that you need to cut and paste. In order to do this, you just want to go to add. I chose one called test. That's what the unchecked one here is. Once you've added an option, you can click on edit config, and you can cut and paste these options in. And I'm going to pull these up so you can see what the options are. So it's going to say hide object codes enabled. And then here's all the different object codes that you have available. I've got first set, second set, blinking colored squares, gray background and intro video, and intro cutscene gray background all removed. If I uncheck those, it looks terrible. Even having them checked, there are still elements of the screen that kind of break immersion, which you'll see when I play back in both versions of this game. Under patches, I didn't put anything. Under AR codes and Gecko codes, I didn't put anything. AR codes is action replay. Gecko was another form of cheat code system. I don't have either of those in this particular implementation. And then under the info, this just tells you the game information. This particular version came out in 2007, which is pretty cool. And then this shows you the ability to access the partitions of the game disk, which is in an ISO format. Resident Evil 4 for the GameCube, I've left all of these settings the same. Again, all of these settings are exactly the same as the Wii version. Thankfully, they are pretty cross-compatible. The next thing that we changed was controllers. I have it set as emulated Wiimote for the Wii version. Under emulated Wiimote, I have it set to VR Touch. And I chose the profile Touch Nunchuck. Because if you don't choose Touch Nunchuck, if you just choose Touch Classic or Touch Wiimote or Remote Wiimote or what have you, unfortunately what happens is it asks you to plug in the Nunchuck controller. So the only one that works for this particular game for the Wii version is the Touch Nunchuck version. And then once you've done that, you just hit refresh here, you hit load on the profile, it will address all of the correct buttons here, and you're good to go. Now if you're playing on the GameCube, under GameCube you're going to choose one of these options. I am actually playing with a Xbox One controller, so we would choose standard controller, configure. We're going to choose X input gamepad, refresh. In this case, we're going to choose Xbox, load, and there you have it. So that is how you get either the GameCube or the Wii version of the game set up. Next, you just go ahead and hit play to run the game. You do have to have a headset plugged into your PC. I'm going to be using the Oculus Quest 2 with Link. So the first game we're checking out is the Wii version. As you can see, the Wii remote on the screen. And already you can kind of see elements that don't really work very well here. So you've got Leon walking forward. And I am using the touch controllers for this. This is the very beginning of the game. And as you can see, there's kind of like some broken textures as I'm playing. I can tilt my head around as part of the camera. I've got Leon talking to this guy here. But I've got this like flickery box in front of my face, which is not ideal.
I was wondering if you might recognize a girl in this photograph. Sorry to bother. Freeze! Is it freeze?
So I killed this guy. His friends are getting away. And this is my favorite part. You can actually see his full body and her half body underneath the communication thing here.
Get out of there and head toward the village. Take whatever measures necessary to save the subject.
Understood.
He's not a zombie, in case you're wondering. So I believe there's some bullets upstairs. So we're going to go upstairs and grab those. Next step is to get outside. Alright, we killed those guys finally. And some of them actually have stuff we can use. Use this knife here. There's sometimes money in that. Depends on which version of the game you're playing. Take some green herb here. That's going to be useful later. Now we're going to head this way. I don't believe there's anybody else in this little house over here. So we should be able to make it through without dying, I hope. Nice, there's another green herb. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these green herbs. I'm going to take these dollars or whatever they are here. And we're going to save. So it works on the Wii version, and it works pretty well with the touch controllers, but it's got these boxes and other elements on it that are not ideal. I do like the way that the Wiimote reticle aims, though. It's pretty sweet. So here we are in the GameCube version. There's a lot less of those blocky things in the GameCube version, and it feels a bit more 3D. And this actually feels a lot closer to the PC version. This definitely looks a little bit better. The elements that are missing and things of that nature are improved over the Wii version. It also feels a little bit jittery, if that makes any sense. And I was wrong. There are still boxes showing up on my screen here.
Sorry to bother.
But they're a lot less obtrusive than the versions with the Wii.
Freeze. I said freeze.
Shoot him in the face? Okay. And it took 5 bullets to bring him down this time. So it's a little bit less clunky than the Wii version, and it seems to run a bit better as far as graphical fidelity and things of that nature. But I'm still kind of passing through stuff. We still got this humorous, both characters. I can actually kind of pan around and see them on this version.
Get out of there and head toward the village. Take
It's
whatever
pretty
measures
funny.
necessary to save the subject.
Understood.
It doesn't even line up here. It's pretty good. He's still not a zombie. We're gonna go grab those bullets from upstairs, just like we did last time. I would say for sure, if you're gonna play with Dolphin VR, I feel like the GameCube version is running a lot better than the Wii version did. This guy's getting up again? Alright, so we got those guys all dead. Take some more ammo. I think this guy had something too. No? Alright, let's go over here. Molly's down for checking what's in the box. Oh, more ammo. Nice. Sometimes those boxes have different things in them, which is why I wanted to check that. We're a little bit injured, but not to the point where it's going to kill us before we get to the save point over here. And again, we're just playing that same opening section, so you can see the differences between the GameCube version and the Wii version as we limp along to the first door over here. And I do feel like the culling and the UI elements, everything is a little bit cleaner with the GameCube version. And again, everything seems to work that you can play it using the touch controllers for both. So you don't need anything extra to play as you're playing. We'll go ahead and save. I meant save. And now I'll show you one more way that you can play the game using the PC version of the game with a program called Vorpex. Alright, so for Vorpex, first of all, I do need to caveat the application is a $40 application. I'll throw a link to vorpex.com in the description as well. Because I'm using a Rift platform, using the Quest in Link mode, the device selection I'd select here is Oculus. You can also select Steam VR, generic, or generic 3D display, depending on what device you're using with Vorpex. Vorpex is more so a 3D driver with some geometric VR capabilities. Fortunately, if we go into the local profiles here, and we scroll down to Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 4 or Bioshock 4 does have available profiles. If we hit apply here, that's really all it takes to make Resident Evil 4 work with Vorpex. Now if I jump into Vorpex, it's going to have Geometry 3D available. It's going to pop out in kind of like a direct VR mode. There's also ZBuffer, which is a little bit lighter 3D effect, not as true of a 3D effect as the geometric 3D effect. This I am going to play using my trusty Xbox gamepad. And I'm going to jump in and I will show you what it looks like in Vorpex. So here we are inside Vorpex. We've got the game in front of us, kind of on a screen. There's a custom resolution section as well. But for right now, what I'm going to do is just load this up. And I'm going to load from actually the save spot we were just in. So this does look a little bit cleaner. The HUD elements are actually more 3D in the PC version. As we move around, everything definitely pops a bit more because of the geometric 3D image. There's a dog over here we can, or a wolf maybe, we can free from this trap. And this is a good sign of what's about to come up for Leon here as we move forward further. Because there's more than just dog traps. You'll see in just a moment here. These laser-guided booby traps. You don't want to walk through either of those trees because you're going to explode.
¡Un forastero!
He's going to reload here. This guy does not want to die. There he is. Death to the infidel here. So I do feel like Vorpex, of course, you can make the screen smaller or larger. You can make it so that it's controlled with head tracking if you wish to do so. I just like it in 3D when I'm playing. I don't like the overall approach of playing in the manner of... I know there's somebody in here. Let's just go this way a little bit. Oh, let's kill these guys over here first. Oh, I know there's a guy in here. But there's not. Alright. I was wrong. So Leon is looking for Ashley, who is the daughter of the president in the game. Nothing in that box. So what we're gonna do is actually we're gonna use this green herb to heal ourselves. So we're about to fight 3 more dudes. I believe it's 3. Might only be 2. It's only 2, looks like. They're dead. More money. I don't know what the money is for, to be perfectly honest. I got another green herb. Now, Vorpex is very configurable, so you have all different ways that you can configure it. We're going to head over here to the town here. I believe the town is called Pueblo. There's going to be another dude. You can see him through the door here. Just aim for his arm, maybe. Maybe we can hit him. Oops. Ah, heck with it. We're gonna head this way. There he Another nice dead guy over here. Nice red herb. Nothing there. Some more bullets. Those are going to be helpful. Because I am terrible with kick attacks currently. I haven't played this game in so many years. So you see here,
Leon, how you holding up?
Bad question.
in this
Hunter.
Sorry to
particular
hear that. I'm sending
cutscene,
you a playing manual.
it's playing
Hope you
it
find it
naturally
useful.
with
I'll
them
take a look at it. Thanks.
in the communicator without their full body showing, which is helpful. So Leon's got to head for town here. Before we do that, we're going to bind the green herb with the red herb. We're going to use that. Increases our health. Because we're not going to play for a while. The next time I play this game is absolutely going to be the VR implementation on the Quest 2. As cool as this is, there's already some stereo separation issues just by zooming in here. It looks super weird. And I truly feel like this game will be much, much better in first person, in virtual reality with the Quest 2. But if you need an alternative and you really want to play it in VR, I have given you 3 here. There it comes. He sees me. Around the corner. He's not gonna die. I shot him in the face twice. This lady here is pretty funny. Whole town's basically after me right now. And this dude. This lady. This other dude, and this other lady, and this other dude, and this other lady. She's still coming at me with her head blown off. That's hilarious. Anyway, we just massacred a whole village of people. That's pleasant, I guess. These guys don't die. Finally. Whoa. Another one here. You know who does die? Leon. Anyway, this has been a quick look at 3 different ways you can play Resident Evil 4, the older versions of the game, using a PC VR implementation. I'll be back with more content soon. Until next time, get out there and enjoy some VR for yourself. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye now.